It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports, along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. I'm Ernie Johnson. Tonight, it'll be the Brooklyn Nets going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Well, for Minnesota, it's been a tough season for them, on the losing end all too often. Tonight, against a team of a similar caliber, they sense a chance to claim a win. And as we come up to the midway point of the season, Kenny, we're seeing some of the veterans who started slower now picking up the pace.
Well, I think early on, a lot of times, if you've been in the playoff for some veterans, the early going in the season is a little mundane. But then as you start seeing the light at the tunnel, they don't pace themselves anymore. And you want to make sure that you're in playoff position to make something special happen at the end of the year.
Excellent use of the word mundane, by the way. How about you, Shaq?
Well, Monday, experience told me when you need to go hard and when you need to pull back. You know, the best veterans will be there when it matters the most.
That's mundane, not
okay, I thought
Monday.
you said Monday.
Like mundane, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Okay.
Thursday.
Got it, my bad.
Two different things.
Here's Kevin Harlan.
It's that time of the year. Happy holidays, everyone, from 2K Sports as we get set to bring you some mid-season NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke reporting on the sidelines. Here in Brooklyn, we have an interconference matchup with the Nets looking to create some cheers for their home crowd. This is their first chance this season playing the Timberwolves. And not only a 1-1 split series between these two teams last year, guys, but both wins were on the road, so home court advantage wasn't that big an advantage.
And going back a season ago, it was a win for both sides in their two meetings.
And even though one side played postseason basketball and the other stayed at home, you wouldn't have known it in their matchups.
And checking out Minnesota's opening lineup. Martin and Wiggins out on the perimeter. Garnett out there with Towns. And it's Rubio in at the point. Now here's Johnson. Coming off a solid outing against Indiana. Here's Young. The rebound by Garnett. Brooklyn on defense. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You've got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
You have to love the newest stadium in the NBA here at Barclays. Very state-of-the-art, outstanding facility.
Yeah, the Nets have a nice home here. I bet they wish they were stronger here at home. Finished under 500 last season with a record of 19-22. I mean, even from over here, you can see that one pretty clearly.
No question about it, Greg. I mean, a ton of contact and a good call by the officials. And, you know, guys, that 19-22 record here in Brooklyn certainly a stain for the Nets. I mean, they would be the only team to make the playoffs in the NBA last year with a losing record at home.
And with the Nets' struggles at home last season, they were simply outshot in this building. Also, they were the second worst in rebound differential at home, meaning they got killed on the glass here.
He hits the second from the line. Here's Jack. 11 points for him in that last game against the Pacers in Indianapolis. And there's Joe Johnson on the assist from Jack. Johnson's got his first points in this one.
Yeah, strong move to the basket there. Nice power to get that up and in.
Outside, Martin. Back to Rubio. Passes it to Martin. Kicks it to Garnett. Rejected by Young. Oh, and a fast break for the Nets. Joe Johnson on the wing. Poked away. Bogdanovich dishes to Johnson. Young's shot is off.
Well, he won't miss many of those, especially with the defender not in the best of positions there.
Here's Towns. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist.
Just no chance for the smaller defender to block that shot.
He's really, really good at using his size to free himself up for those mid-range jumpers. A master at it.
And guys, looking at Jarrett Jack, one word comes to mind: professional. I mean, he's as solid as they come. Tough, capable, experienced, and he proved it all again last season.
Talking about Jarrett Jack, he is especially dangerous at the end of the game. Not only does he make great decisions, Clark, he was a top 10 free throw shooter last season.
Yeah, experienced, tough-minded ball handlers and shot makers are always valuable, especially when it's winning time.
And Jack drops them both.
And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Minnesota's gone 2 of 2 from three-point range here in the first quarter. Here's Towns, and he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down.
I tell you what, he can do a lot more damage to that rim than that when he wants to.
And you know, Clark, with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one.
Me too.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm glad he didn't, because otherwise we'd probably have a 45-minute delay here if he shattered the backboard.
Bargnani drops it in from 14 feet away.
Boy, I love the great assist that time by Jack.
Here's Rubio. He gives his team some nice contributions, averaging a bit over 10 points a game. Garnett, right side. He dishes it to Martin. Jacks up a three. Brooklyn with the rebound. Johnson kicks to Bargnani. That one off the back iron and out. Timberwolves leading by 3. Wiggins drives in. Garnett wide open. Jack with the rebound.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
There's the dish to Johnson. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Sometimes folks forget about his decent mid-range jumper. He can knock those down all game given a chance.
And Rubio kicks to Towns. Down it goes for his third basket in as many tries.
I love the low post attack on that one. Yeah, saw some things that just weren't working for them and wants to make some adjustments.
Yeah, and no reason to wait around to do that, Greg. I mean, might as well make those adjustments right away.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. Thomas Robinson, he's checked in for Bargnani. Nets trail by 3. And Jack kicks to Robinson. That's good.
Another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively so far.
Yeah, and I think we're going to see them operating a lot of their offense from the interior today.
Now, here's Rubio. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. There's Garnett. Garnett with another miss.
And even though he missed that, you have to take those shots when you get the opportunity.
Exactly. They don't come much better or easier than that.
Jack against Martin. Back to Jack. Four on the clock. Wiggins with it, and it's Johnson picking him up. And Wiggins throws it down.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
Here is Robinson, following the bucket by the Timberwolves. They grabbed their own miss. Well, it was only a matter of time, but they finally get the bucket.
And that's a great play on the backboard for him. I mean, it's what we expect. All his second chance points do not come by accident.
Now here's Towns. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Sacramento.
Yeah, and he also did a great job on the backboards, Kev, and that also was a factor.
Nets trail by 3. Jack passes to Bogdanovich. And Jack picks to Young. And a great assist by Jack as that one goes in. Jack's got 5 assists in the game. The Timberwolves have gone 7 of 11 from the field to begin the game. And it's Garnett penetrating. And a wide open look here for Wiggins. The three-pointer no good.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
Robinson misses. Minnesota's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Martin dishes to Towns. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And guys, one of the most beautiful things to watch in the NBA, when Kevin Martin gets hot with the jumper. I mean, there are guys with range, and there are guys who dial it up from a different area code. But Kevin Martin, he sends it home literally from another planet.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Johnson. Ellington comes in for Bogdanovich. And Shane Larkin subbed in for Jarrett Jack. And for Kevin Martin last season, it was a struggle, Clark. He played only 39 games, but he still averaged 20 points and hit almost 40% from three-point land.
Kevin, it's just a matter of health with him. You know if he's healthy, he's going to put the ball in the basket. He gets to the line too well. He's an excellent three-point shooter and driver, but he's light of frame, and injuries have been his nemesis recently.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach so far that we've seen for the Timberwolves?
And so far, these guys have done a fantastic job finding the opening man and getting some easy baskets.
You know, it also hasn't taken them long to make their mark in the paint. I mean, they're doing a lot of their scoring from in there.
That free throw, no good.
You know, last season, Thaddeus Young was moved from Minnesota to Brooklyn, guys. A good move for everybody involved as he helped with the playoff push.
And he's good on the second. Young last year, as you mentioned, GA, shipped to Brooklyn, provided good punch off the bench.
Yeah, and Young, that he's a great guy to play heavy minutes off the bench. Shot over 50% from the floor in his games with the Nets.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Pass to Hollis Jefferson.
Oh, wow.
That's a beautiful jam.
Man, he slams it home and gets a little camera time on the backside of it.
He spent a while up there on the rim.
And I like the fact that the ref's going to give him a little bit of leeway there and a lot more than they used to.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
And they take the lead. And that's now 6 points for Robinson.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now.
That's right. 5 of their last 6 makes were on the interior. They've established their inside presence.
Rubio the pass to Towns. He kicks to Martin. Puts it up. And Towns the bucket on the assist by Martin. And 11 points for Karl Anthony Towns.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
Young, a screen on Rubio. Larkin can't get it to go.
Good pick, but he just couldn't make it count.
Yeah, nice job of setting the screen by his teammate there. I'm sure he appreciated it.
The shot misses. Wiggins with some nice D. That will count. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And so both teams trading buckets as we end the first quarter. The Timberwolves on top, up by 1. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. And Nets head coach Lionel Hollins known for his no-nonsense style, but he'll tell you he's still got a good sense of humor. I still don't think that Coach Hollins is anyone to be trifled with, and I think the net players would agree with me on that one.
Oh, yes, I know they've got that one figured out. And I do too, as a matter of fact. The last thing anybody on the team better be doing is laughing at Lionel Hollins.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And what do you guys think about Minnesota here in this one?
I just like the way they're getting out in the open floor, taking advantage of all those fast break chances here early on.
I agree with you, Greg. I mean, they can run, and they've done a good job filling the lanes in transition.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. And Brooklyn, looking who they've got. Hollis Jefferson is out there with Thomas Robinson. Then there's Wayne Ellington. Then there's Shane Larkin. And it's Bargnani in at the 5 spot. Here's Rubio, following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. He feeds it to Jang from the wing. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got 3 assists in the game. And for Brooklyn, they're shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Here's Larkin, and he comes off the screen to bury the jump shot. Larkin's got the lead up to 2 now for the Nets. Minnesota really had a rough year last season. A lot of people know that, obviously. A lot to do with their defense. They just, Greg, struggled in almost every defensive metric.
Yeah, and, you know, they struggled at times guarding the basketball, but ultimately I think the biggest issue for them was their inability to protect the rim. That's an area and a point of emphasis that has to improve for this young team.
Minnesota shooting 55% from the floor. They're feeling very confident offensively. And Zhang kicks to Wiggins. And there are the Timberwolves with another bucket. Timeout called the Nets. Nets were the hottest team and story a few years back, certainly, but last season they were put up for sale, surprisingly to some, Clark, midway through the year.
Yeah, that was odd timing given the new arena and rebranding. I mean, you would think after all that effort to rebuild the team, you would see it through.
And for the Nets being put up for sale, a big part of it was they were a team that was supposed to compete for titles. And since the move to Brooklyn, they have had trouble going deep in the playoffs.
Here's what Brooklyn's going with right now. Joe Johnson, he's checked in for Hollis Jefferson. Bogdanovich comes in for Wayne Ellington. And Jarrett Jack has subbed in for Shane Larkin. Jack dishes to Robinson. The pass to Bogdanovich. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Bogdanovich has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And you know, with Brooklyn, I don't think anybody wants to take over a team in a rebuild mode. I mean, that's what the Nets seem to be looking at for the next few seasons. They had their shot, went all in with some of their decisions, unfortunately came up short.
And Brooklyn has possession. Following the miss by Kevin Martin. Feeds it to Robinson. Shot is good off the back rim and in. And it's a 5-point Nets lead.
Boy, have they gotten hot here in the second quarter. No wonder they're in front.
I don't know if this field goal percentage is sustainable, but if they can stay close to what they've done in shooting the ball, they'll run away with this one.
Nets leading by 5. Here's Bogdanovich. 9 points last game. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg, I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
Quarter number 2, around 3 minutes gone by. Here's Bargnani. Minnesota with the rebound. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Sacramento.
And really, given how they performed offensively, guys, they just never had a chance.
Yeah, and you can see their frustration growing and growing as they continue to come up empty on their possessions. By the end, they were just happy to watch the clock wind down and move on.
Here's Bargnani, following the score by Kevin Martin. A nice shot by Bogdanovich.
And I like the fact that he really was unfazed by that scoreless first quarter, and now you can see him getting into a rhythm.
Martin the screen. Rubio the pass to Wiggins. Back to Rubio. Shot clock at 6. No luck. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Injuries have certainly taken their toll on Bargnani, culminating in disaster last season. Greg suiting up for only 29 games, the fewest ever in his career.
Yeah, I mean, he had a series of leg injuries, the hammy, the calf. Really unfortunate part about it is that he has so much talent, but yet really to develop that on the floor because of all the issues.
Here's what Minnesota's going with right now. Nikola Pekovic comes in for Towns, and it's Muhammad in for Gorgui Dieng. Free throw good, Wiggins.
And in thinking about Bargnani's impact, he's a guy who can generate points from every spot on the floor. Three-point range, converts at the rim. He's about 7 feet tall, 250 pounds, and shoots free throws like a guard.
Now here is Jack. He's been a reliable scorer for him as he's averaging up over 13 points a game. Here's Muhammad. That's good. It's Rubio with the assist. Rubio's got his 5th assist in this one.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Here's Johnson. Steady offensive output from him, averaging more than 16 points a game.
And, you know, that's an example of how many plays we have in a game for which there's no stat. A monster dunk coming off just a terrific pick play.
Greg, you're right. It really did work to perfection. Gave him all the room he needed for the flush.
Boy, that's a sound physical play. I mean, can't be afraid to put a shoulder into somebody every once in a while. It's a contact sport, folks.
For Brooklyn, they've gone 7 for 10 here in the second quarter. They'd like to keep up that nice pace.
And talking about Bargnani last season, he was actually generating efficient numbers when he was healthy. I mean, way up in field goal percentage, three-point percentage. I would love to see him remain healthy and have a chance to quiet the doubters.
And so it's Minnesota with it. After the basket by Brooklyn, picked him clean. Jack with it. Bargnani sets the screen for Jack. Pass to Bargnani. Three-pointer. Here's Robinson. That's tipped. Now Rubio. Now the feed to Martin. Launches a three, and he gets it to go. Martin's got 5 points now this quarter.
There is no way a player like him can be left wide open like that. Did you pay attention to the scouting report?
Jack's shot is good.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
It's becoming a theme in this game, Clark. They are piling up the points in the paint.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout.
In last season, the Wolves had the hardest strength of schedule in the entire league. Might have worked out for them in the end, as come lottery time, those extra losses do tend to help.
Well, Greg, it would work out for Minnesota with all those losses. They got the lucky bounce, Clark, and the #1 pick in the draft.
And you know, it's the first time in a long time that the worst team in the league actually got the top pick in the draft, allowed Minnesota to add another great young big to complement Rookie of the Year, Andrew Wiggins.
And a new group in for the Nets. Young's checked in for Robinson. Hollis Jefferson comes in for Joe Johnson. Wayne Ellington's checked in for Bogdanovich. And it's Larkin in for Jarrett Jack. And the Timberwolves also making a change. Garnett's checked in. And Rubio kicks to Wiggins. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio. 9 points for Andrew Wiggins.
What a job he's doing here. I mean, his second quarter has been even better than his first, and that was pretty good.
Now here's Ellington, covered by Martin. Here's Bargnani. Here's Young. And he battles for the ball and gets the second chance bucket. Young's got 5.
Just not enough bodies on the glass right there, and they paid for it.
Well, Greg, I know you're a little guy, but you know what it means to box out, and it's an effort thing and a mindset deal. You got to get your body between that other player and the ball.
And the Timberwolves making a change here. Bielitsa's checked in. And so it's Brooklyn with it. They get to take on the Bulls at Chicago after this one. That will be a getaway game for them, a one-game road trip. Larkin kicks to Young from 11 feet away. Excellent D there from Garnett.
And we haven't seen them be quite as aggressive driving the basketball, settling far too much for jumpers.
Yeah, that's a good observation on your part, Greg. Fewer free throw attempts for them this quarter. And the danger is they can't afford to get too comfortable out there because they've got the lead. Otherwise, it might start to get away from them.
34 seconds left to play here in the second quarter. Larkin kicks to Young. Another miss by Young.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him. But luckily, his teammates have picked up the slack.
KG, that's good.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Larkin dishes to Bargnani. Passes it to Ellington. Out to the wing. Here's Larkin. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. So a tie game here as we finish the first half. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, Andrea, you've been scoring at a very high rate of efficiency so far. What's been the key to the success you've had offensively?
I try to be aggressive. I can play in and out. So my teammates put me in a good position. I just try to be aggressive, score the ball.
Thank you so much. Back to you guys at the table.
Thank you for the great interview, Doris. We'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And what an amazing performance the hometown fans are witnessing here tonight. Ernie Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. Brooklyn found themselves in a close game in the first. They never dug too deep a hole for themselves in the first period. The most they trailed by was 5. The second quarter was a strong effort for them as they continued to battle, and they were able to close out the half in a good position. And from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, quite simply, their bench showed up tonight. And when I say showed up, I'm talking about on the offensive end because they were scoring in bunches. Now, you want your reserves to just at least come in and hold the fort, but they did way more than that tonight.
Shaq, what'd you think about Minnesota?
Their transition game was really strong. It really fueled them, gave them a big injection of energy into their offense. If they can maintain that fast style in the second half, they got a great chance to take control of this game.
All right, and that'll do it for us here. We now take you back to the second half of our game. Kevin Harlan ready with the call.
We have a close ball game on our hands as we get set for the second half of basketball.
Really an extraordinary game for Bargnani. He's got 13 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
And when it's all said and done, I got a sneaky suspicion he's going to have a few more.
Minnesota's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. And so in the game for the Timberwolves, Rubio and Martin are their backcourt. Towns is out there with Garnett, and it's Muhammad in at the 3 spot. Martin wide open. He fires. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio.
You have got to make some kind of a defensive adjustment here. He is just lighting them up from beyond.
Greg, I don't know what else they can do. I mean, even when they've closed out on him, he's still been knocking them down.
Johnson can't hit.
And look, Joe Johnson last season, not his best statistically, but boy, did he show some heart. I mean, he was one of the catalysts for Brooklyn making the playoffs, especially when Brook Lopez returned healthy and the two could play off of one another.
So it's Brooklyn now, following the 3 by Minnesota. Shot by Jack, wide open, and against the shot to fall after coming off the pick.
Perfect screen there, set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have. Some big points there. I mean, they got him on a nice play to get the ball right to the bucket.
And exactly what they're looking for down the stretch, Clark. Just more of the same.
Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Dishes it to Johnson. Screen by Young. Jack inside the line. Great use of the pick to create room for the jumper. Jack's got 8.
And really, the defense didn't do a lot to fight around that screen on that possession.
Martin from outside. Bogdanovich grabs the miss. Bogdanovich has got 4 rebounds now tonight. And Young with the stuff.
Solid on the one-hand throw down there.
You know, Clark, when it's a tight ball game like this, he's the guy they want with the ball.
Yep.
Yeah, and one reason why, I just don't know that I've ever seen him miss a play like that.
Tries it from the top of the key. That's good. And the Timberwolves lead by 4. And the Nets with possession here.
Timeout. Timeout. Start it.
Timeout called the Nets. After the Nets' big moves the past couple of years, they were looked at as an older team, but you break it down, and you know, Greg, they're not as old as you think.
And actually had the 5th youngest team of anyone in the postseason. And so, though they seem older just because so many of their players had playoff experience or came into the league at a young age.
And, you know, for the Nets, the roster's average age was about 2 years younger at the end of the 2015 season than where they were at the end of 2014. They made a point to get younger.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Lionel Hollins gave to his team during that last break. He went over the offensive plan and said that it hinges on running through Robinson. Coach is looking for big things from him throughout the rest of this game on the offensive end. A lot of the scoring burden will fall on him. Those could prove to be crucial changes to their strategy with this game getting ready to enter the stretch drive, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris.
And even though the Nets were younger last season, they were tough in tight games, playing really like a bunch of veterans, and went 10-2 on the year in games decided by 3 or fewer points.
Now here's Johnson after the miss from Ricky Rubio. Outside Jack. Johnson against Garnett. 6 on the shot clock. They get it back. Higgins with the block. They get it back, but they'll get another chance. Robinson passes to Johnson. Count the basket and the foul. It's going to be on Andrew Wiggins.
And I feel like there's a reason Joe Johnson has gotten a number of astronomical contracts. It's because he does everything for you. He's like one of those items you buy that touts everything you need, nothing you don't. Well, to me, that's Joe Johnson.
Now, here's Rubio. Garnett outside. Pulls it from the elbow. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Garnett's got the game tied up here for the Timberwolves. The Nets have gotten 5 of 8 shots to fall for them in the third quarter. A nice 62% from the field. Bogdanovich, no luck.
Oh, man, you know he'd love to have that one over.
Garnett outside. Can't get it to go. Excellent D that time from Robinson. And Jack kicks to Johnson. Back to Jack. Here's Robinson, and a good offensive board, and he gets the bucket. Robinson's got 10 points.
He was the first one to react to that miss. Excellent anticipation on his part. A hustle play on the putback by him.
Rubio, he drains the quick shot.
Textbook, nice pass, great catch, even better finish.
Nets have gone a solid 6 of 11 when shooting here in the third quarter. Screen by Young. And Bogdanovich kicks to Jack. There's the triple. Minnesota with the rebound. Towns has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. He dishes it to Rubio. Kicks it to Garnett. To the middle. Stolen by Robinson. Wiggins against Jack. The dish to Johnson. Wants to get it to Robinson and does. Can't hit from in close.
Well, what appeared to be an easy 2 points just never materialized.
Three-pointer, Martin. The rebound by Young. Young's got 4 rebounds in this game. And Jack kicks to Robinson. And a great assist by Jack as that one goes in. Jack's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Pass to Towns. Back to Rubio. Garnett outside. And he goes in for the dunk.
Terrific assist that time by Rubio.
Brooklyn's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. And Jack kicks to Young. Thaddeus Young provides a lot of things, Clark. Solid on both ends of the floor. You can plug him into almost any lineup and make it work.
Yeah, he's an ideal basketball player because of his versatility. I think that's one of his greatest strengths. Not only can he play the 3 or 4, he can go inside and outside too.
All right now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The first one falls.
Talk about a terrific game for Young. He's got 8 points, and he's tacked on a couple of blocks today, too.
And they've been important to the team. Even if it's only a couple, it's helped them establish a defensive presence inside.
Looking at who's out there now for the Nets. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Johnson. Ellington comes in for Bogdanovich. And it's Larkin in for Jarrett Jack. That one misses.
Yeah, one more make would have been nice, but they do walk away with the lead.
Towns dishes to Jang. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk. Guys, what a back-and-forth game this has been.
You know what? You're right. Neither side has been able to hang on to the lead for any kind of time at all.
And that's already resulted in 7 lead changes.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. To the right side. Clock at 6. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. And another one in the scoring column for him. He's 7 of 10 from the field. The Timberwolves have gone 8 of 13 on shot attempts to begin the second half. There's a good screen. Levine kicks to Wiggins. Here's Levine. Ellington defending. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. Wiggins from outside. And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. The Nets making a switch here. Bargnani's checked in. Brooklyn trailing. Larkin, the pass to Robinson. Bargnani down low. 13 points in the game. Off target with the jump hook. Minnesota's gone 6 of 11 when they've taken the 3-point shot tonight. Very respectable. Miller kicks to Towns. Back to Miller. Jang against Robinson. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. You look at Gorgui Dieng and his development in the league out of Louisville. What a big jump for him last season.
And that's a great point. That first year, you could tell the game was a little too fast, and he was a bit overwhelmed, but started to get more and more minutes throughout the season and really blossomed with the extra opportunity.
And Jang last season doubled his points per game, got enough rebounds where he could be a double-double player every night in the near future.
Minnesota making a switch here. Pekovic is checked in. And Jang drops them both.
And Yang isn't a young player by any means, but he has learned how to fill a niche on a team quickly. Just offers good numbers and intangibles in a lot of places on the stat sheet.
Minnesota's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Levine dishes to Miller. Wiggins left side. Back to Miller. The 10-footer. And Dang gets it to go. Zhang's got 8.
Andre Miller, one of the best dime droppers around.
Here's Larkin, covered by Miller. Reverses. Got a piece of it. Out of bounds. Next ball as Brooklyn keeps possession. Five seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Larkin. Can't get it to fall. And a great show through 3 quarters as we enter the fourth. We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. Nets trail by 4. Jaracek is out there with Bogdanovich. Then it's Johnson. Then it's Bargnani. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 4. So that's the Nets 5. And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Timberwolves.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
They do, and you also see a lot of points have come off the dribble penetration. They've been aggressive on the bounce at attacking the defense.
And the foul on Jaracek. That's his first foul.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
Greg, those are always tough to judge, but I think the official got that one right.
And Brooklyn making a change here. Young's checked in. Knocked loose. Johnson against Wiggins. Lets it go with a 3. Bargnani grabs the board. And we have an intentional foul there, GA. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
Payne, he's checked in for Minnesota. Jones comes in for Andre Miller. Gwinnett shooting it up around 51%. They're getting good looks. Outside check. All alone. A nice shot by Bogdanovich. And the Nets lead by 1. And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Yeah, and actually still too close to call. I mean, this one is tight.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
Now here's Jones. He kicks it to Muhammad. It's on target from the high post.
It's as if the defenses have just given up.
Yeah, you know, the pace has only picked up the deeper we've gotten into this game, which is remarkable. It speaks to the endurance and stamina of these teams, and it's also been a lot of fun to watch.
A young team trying to find their place in the league can have it tough on the road, Clark, and the 2015 Timberwolves typified that sentiment.
In spades, 7-34 on the road last season. Dead last in the West as they won only 3 road games against the rest of the conference.
And with the Wolves on the road, they shot threes better and had better offense. They would still lose by double digits on average.
And, you know, guys, for the Wolves on the road last year, it was hard because they are in the West. I mean, we've talked before about how far they have to travel as a team for their road games.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Gorgie Dang's checked in for Payne, and Miller's subbed in for Jones. Johnson hits them both.
You know, the Nets really kind of drifted along for the first part of last season, treaded water, but after the All-Star break, they stepped on the gas, put themselves right back in the playoff picture.
Wiggins passes to Pekovic. Back to Wiggins. He feeds it to Pekovic from about 19 feet. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins.
And I'm sensing something special going on here tonight.
It certainly does have the feeling of a classic, Greg. Let's see which team is better equipped to handle the pressure.
Offensive rebound. And there's the call by the official. They'll count the basket here following the goaltending call.
He didn't get to that one quite in time, Kevin. Those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
Minnesota making some changes. Martin's checked in for Shabazz Muhammad, and Ricky Rubio subbed in for Miller. The Timberwolves have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. And it's Martin penetrating. Here's Pekovic, and that one off the back of the rim and in. And the Timberwolves lead by 1. As you mentioned, the Nets were great after the break, had the 3rd best record post-All-Star break in the East.
Yeah, and how about winning 13 of their first 22 after the break? And sometimes with a new coach and system, it takes a while to kind of figure things out. And that seemed to be the case with the Nets last year.
Now a timeout call by Brooklyn.
And guys, for Nikola Pekovic, NBA scouts said he needed work on his shot coming in, yet he's money from mid-range at times, especially at the charity stripe. One of the best free throw shooting bigs we have in our league.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hi, Kevin. I was able to hear the advice Lionel Hollins gave to his team during that last break. He told them, the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
And thank you, Doris. Now, here is Bargnani. And Bogdanovich kicks to Young. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. And back to Pekovic at the free throw line. Clark, he has consistently been around 75% for his career.
And Kevin, last season he got that number up to 84%. And he also gives you really good effort in the paint on both ends of the floor.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
He had a nice open look right there. Bogdanovich has got 5 points in the quarter.
And back and forth we go. That bucket gives us another lead change.
Too many of those to count. These teams have matched each other shot for shot, play for play. It has been impressive.
And stolen by Wiggins. Rubio against Johnson. Garnett, right side. Back to Wiggins. To the left side wing. Shot clock at 5. That one goes. Count it. And 11 points here for Ricky Rubio. Boy, right down to the wire here, Clark. Still anyone's ball game.
Both teams really invested now. I mean, this is the type of game you love to win, and you'd hate to lose it.
Yeah, and after all the energy both sides have expended, both teams still hungry for the win.
For Minnesota, they've gone 5 of 7 from the field since the beginning of the fourth. Strong work at that end of the floor. Garnett kicks to Towns. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Off target from three-point range. The Nets have gotten it done so far from the field here in the fourth, going 6 for 7. Here's Jack. Minnesota with the rebound. Rubio's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Towns dishes to Rubio. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Rubio's got 11 in the second half. To the paint, here's Young, and that one is hammered home.
This guy is a high flyer, I mean, especially for a power forward, and he needs to be as an undersized player.
Wiggins outside. Martin from outside. Rebound, Brooklyn. And here is Jack. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. Those are just the kind of errors that can cost you in a game like this.
Robinson's checked in for Brooklyn. Jack against Rubio. Towns at the elbow. 17-foot shot on the way. That's in, coming off an assist from Rubio.
And you're starting to see some tired legs on those defenders as we come down the stretch here, Clark.
There's the pass to Bargnani. drops in the layup for 2. Bargnani's got 21 in the game.
Those defenders look like they're out of gas. I mean, they're getting pushed around on the low block.
Yeah, but they better rally soon because they've given up 3 straight buckets in the paint.
Martin with the bucket.
He's really picked up where he left off in the first.
The Nets have gone 8 of 10 from the field here in the 4th quarter. Really getting it done. Bogdanovich, no luck. Minnesota in the lead. Garnett kicks to Rubio. Back to Garnett. Feeds it to Rubio. To the wing on the left. 6 on the shot clock. Shoots from the elbow. Thomas Robinson comes up with a rebound. Robinson's got 5 rebounds tonight. Johnson in the corner. A baseline J. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
Wow, has he flipped a switch at halftime? Much more effective here in the second half.
Minnesota calls timeout. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Bargnani.
He's on fire. And they needed to put their heads together to figure out how to get the ball out of his hand.
Minnesota's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the 3rd quarter. Martin the pass to Towns. The feed to Rubio. Wiggins against Johnson. Wiggins dishes to Garnett. That falls. Nice feed that time from Wiggins. Wiggins has got his 4th assist in this one. One guy who's been getting it done is Kevin Martin.
He's been absolutely on fire from outside. They've got to get into his jersey, get up into him, force him to pass or drive.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They trail by 2. There's 1:40 left in the game. Johnson outside. Right wing. Bargnani kicks to Robinson. He dents the rim with a 2-handed slam. Wow.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kev?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. The score is tied at 89. We've got 1:23 left in the game. Outside Jack puts up a 3. It's rebounded by Towns. And for the Timberwolves, their shooting and offensive execution has been beyond great. They're 63% from the floor in this game. Got a hand on it. Bogdanovich passes to Bargnani. Wiggins against Jack. Sinks it. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Brooklyn.
We've seen them make the extra effort from a defensive standpoint, closing out airspace and sending shots back.
The number of second chance points they've gotten is also impressive. I mean, they've kept so many possessions alive with offensive rebounds.
Now Jack following the miss by Martin from deep. And Jack kicks to Bargnani. We've got 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter. No good. And it's the Timberwolves taking it the other way.
Now you need every basket you can get.
Greg, I think they're still alive here, but they better execute every trip down the floor from here on out.
Clutch shot right there. That could be the difference maker.
Indeed, it might be a big, huge moment in this game right there.
He sinks the clutch free throw.
Yeah, how about the bucket to tie with the D just all over him. The free throw to give them the lead. Just a fantastic play all around.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're losing by 1. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Nineteen seconds left in the fourth. Jack against Rubio, and so they foul intentionally.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
Outside Jack. Misses the tray. So it's Minnesota taking the W in a close one. They break the hearts of every fan in the building with a dramatic late victory.
And Kevin, this is the kind of win you have to take a ton of pride in. I mean, they battled with everything they had and came through when the pressure was at its highest.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. This is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for tuning in. And we send you now over to Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's move on to our Jordan Player of the Game. Just a monster first quarter of the game. He came out hot and just never cooled down. That boost he gave his team early on, a huge factor. What are your thoughts, Shaq?
Boom, boom, boom. That's right, Ernie. Instruments. This guy was instrumental tonight in making sure they avoided a second straight loss. They needed somebody to step up tonight, and he was their guy.
He was dead on from the field tonight, guys. I'd call his performance economical because there was no wasted opportunities. He took advantage of every good look he got. I mean, everything he put up was going in.
And that'll do it for tonight. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson. Have a good night, everybody.